Hey everybody, I'm Alex Pearl, and this is Alex Smells. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Sex and the Sea Neroli by Francesca Bianchi, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. Usually I own a fragrance and I've worn it through an entire day at least 3 times before I review it, and that is not the case this time. We'll get to why in a moment. I'm also not going to be as production heavy for this video, and it's a thing. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna give it a shot for a little while, see how it works out. I am working on editing another video that I've already shot at the moment, and editing takes a really long time when I'm putting all the production into it, like all the pictures popping up and the sound effects and everything like that. And I'd like to get more videos out there. There's a lot of things that I'd like to review because, frankly, I want to sell them off after I review them and open up some more space in my collection. But also, I'd like to do this more often. And it kind of sucks being stuck editing for like months at a time because I've got, I work full time and I go to school. And I've got the house and the 2 rescue puppies and a lot of things that need my care and attention before I get to like filming and editing. So long story short, I'm just gonna cut down the production a little bit to make it easier for me to just bring these to you more frequently. Anyway, so back to the fragrance. There's a story behind this one. I was hanging out with my friend Margie Noire a few weeks ago, and if you're not familiar with her, I'm gonna put like a link to her channel and some of her videos right down below. So we got together, we spent the whole day together, and we spent like 5 hours going through her collection and just exploring everything. And I brought over this giant duffel bag full of a bunch of stuff from my collection, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Thank you, Margie. She had mentioned Sex and the Sea Neroli in her video 5 I Love, 5 I Hate, and then she brought it up again just a couple of months ago on a stream, and not in the most positive light, and I got the impression that the other people she was talking to didn't like it either. Whenever I hear about a fragrance that's controversial or that's being hated on, I have this weird desire to give it a try, at least to see what all the fuss is about. And usually it's not what people make it out to be. As an example, everybody and their mom hates on Mahora by Guerlain, but Mahora is one of my top 20. I gave it a try. I love it intensely. I like anchovies. I put them on salads. I put them on pizza. I think that they're sublime. I love both major iterations of the video game Baroque. I will give the underloved a shot, and sometimes I will love it, and if I do, I'll love it shamelessly. So I bug her about it, and she gets it out, and she's like, "Are you sure you want to smell this?" Which is never a good sign. And I was like, yeah, how bad could it be? Immediately, I hated it. It was immediate, powerful revulsion. So I gave it some time to sit, and I figured like maybe it's just the opening that's rancid. I'll give it some time, let it develop a little bit. We ate dinner. I came back to the strip later, and it was still horrid. Hours had passed after that last smell, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it one more chance. Smelled it. Terrible. And then she tells me that there was another one that she tried called A Lover's Tale, and that one was even worse. She told me that it smelled like a soiled baby wipe, and I was like, all right, No, I'll pass, thanks. So, Sex and the Sea Neroli was released in 2019, and it was launched by the self-named company of the nose behind it, who is Francesca Bianchi. Her name is on the packaging, she's the nose, there's no one and nothing else that you can hide behind, Francesca. You are responsible for this. You and you alone. So the accords, the best that I could make them out, were white musk, yellow musk, citrus, and fruit. And by fruit, I mean just coconut. The notes that I could make out of this mishmash were an unsweetened coconut oil, something that smelled like sebum, like the hair oil, like unwashed, sweaty hair, white musk, and some kind of like burnt, scorched, screechy, harsh neroli. It was aggressive. It was like angry neroli. So what was it that came to mind when I smelled this little treasure? The first thing that came to mind was that it smelled like a first draft. It smelled like student work. It smelled like Francesca had an idea and she rushed to like, hey, I really want to make this a reality, and just decided first draft, yeah, that's good enough. Slap it in a bottle and put a $200 price tag on it. That's good enough. While we were smelling it, Margie kept saying, it smells clunky. It smells clunky. And at first, I was like, what does she mean? And then I put the strip up to my nose and I was like, oh, that's what she means. It's weird because clunky isn't really a word that you commonly associate with a smell, but she was dead on with that one. It smells clunky, clumsy. It smells like a clod. Every time I would go back to the strip and I would brave another smell, the first thing that would come to mind is this mental visual of this like sweaty, gross, like Tempur-Pedic pillow that somebody has been like, they're not showering and they're just rubbing their hair down with raw coconut oil before they go to bed each night, and then somebody like presses this thing right on your face. And that sweaty, gross, like suffocating, pillowy mental image, imagine that shot through with this insane, like I said, aggressive neroli. Ugh, honestly, I was confused. I felt lost. I thought, what is the concept here? What was the idea that you had, Francesca? What kind of fantasy were you trying to feel with this? Because it seems aimless. It seems directionless. I was lost. Usually there's some kind of, idea that's painted for you either by, the intention of the nose or the marketing or the packaging or all of these things coming together at once. But here I was just lost and smothered. It was oppressive, it was vicious, sweaty, and repellent. Francesca, Franny, Fran, what were you thinking? What was the narrative here? What was your idea? I'd love to know, but I have not an inkling based on what I smelled. All right, let's cut right to the ratings. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. When it comes to scent, this is the first F. Sex and the Sea Neroli is irredeemable. That night, while it was still fresh in my mind, I wrote down insufferable, smothering, foul, hateful, and repugnant. Does that sound like something that you want on or around your body? Because not for me! As far as projection and longevity, I honestly can't fairly gauge that. I did not want this on my skin, and thank goodness that Margie did not spray this on the back of my hand or something. That would have, I think that would have tainted our whole friendship. I had no desire to put that evil potion on my body. If you've ever had it on yours and you want to tell me how it performs, go right on ahead. Enlighten me. Tell me in the comments down below, because I don't want to fuck around and find out. I have this dreadful but unconfirmed notion that it would haunt you for far too long. Overall, I'm going to give Sex and the Sea Neroli an F. A big fat F. I hated the experience. I hated it so much. Not only is the smell of it trash, but the asking price, it's a joke. Margie told me that she had paid $200 for her bottle. $200 for that? Nope. No. She said that it taught her a major lesson about blind buying, and after smelling it for myself, I understand why. Why would you pay $200 for a psychological wound like the memory of Sex and the Sea Neroli? Why? I'm trying to spare you that. Please. Don't. Closing thoughts. So I wanted to present you with a better iteration of whatever kind of idea Francesca Bianchi was reaching for with Sex and the Sea Neroli. I actually wanted to let you know, if you like the idea, but you want something that's competent and aesthetically pleasing, I would recommend Eternia Woman by the House of Armaf. Oh yeah, this is better than Sex and the Sea Neroli in every possible way, and this costs a fraction of what that does. Eternia Woman gives you these soft, plush blankets of vanilla and tonka and sandalwood, almond, and then you get it's practically luminous with lemon blossom and orange blossom. I love it. And my bottle was maybe like $30. So come on, it's fabulous, and it's so much better in every measurable respect than anything that Francesca's cooking up. Look, just because something costs more does not mean that it's going to be better. Don't be fooled by snob appeal. Don't be fooled by any influencer that's being sponsored by a brand that's just shilling for bucks. Try something yourself. Sample it first if you're in any way unsure. Like I always just recommend it to sample first. Don't blind buy. It's a waste. And I don't want to see you waste your hard-earned money on something that's clunky. So there. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you. I love you. I hope you have fun out there. And that's all that I have for you for this time. Goodbye. I think I swallowed some of the silica powder. Ugh. Oh.